It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Let's talk to Stephen Jones of the Dallas Cowboys, brought to you by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Stephen, always appreciate the time. It's been a very interesting week. From the competition committee standpoint, what are the conversations like on what needs to happen with Cincinnati and Buffalo and how the league is moving forward?
Well, I think we're just all putting our heads together and trying to figure out the best way, to be as fair and equitable as you can in a very, obviously challenging situation. That the first and foremost thing is obviously our prayers and thoughts with the tragic, with the young man who's in the hospital, and then of course the next thing, but that's going to always be at the forefront, and then what we do next as a league. The good news is, he's making a lot of progress, and I think everybody feels at least comfortable talking about how we are going to move forward. And we also know that it's not going to, more than likely, it's not going to be just the perfect decision, that everything's not going to be just perfect when this is all said and done. We certainly understand why.
Well, and having said that, Stephen, and you guys are in a very, very tough position right now with what you're having to try and figure out and do. And obviously, you're not going to please everybody. But I'm sure there have been some pretty good ideas as to how to move forward with this, and at least some things you guys are considering.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of ideas. It'd be unfair probably to get out in front of this. I mean, it's fair to say that what you see and read on or hear and watch on ESPN, that those ideas probably they came from places, and there's certainly things that are being considered. But like I said, I mean, the first and foremost, we'll continue to have our prayers with Damar Hamlin and the progress that he's making, and then we'll come up with the best way to handle the situation that we have on our hands in terms of moving forward with our playoffs.
Stephen Jones of the Dallas Cowboys joining us here on the Blitz, brought to you by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. And Stephen, when obviously, I mean, such a scary thing to watch on Monday night, and the league has not had to deal with anything like this for years. Is the delay in any kind of announcement or decision from the league, was that waiting to get some sort of positive update on Damar Hamlin, the kind of positive update that we did receive today?
Yeah, I'm not, I wasn't on site, so it'd be unfair for me to comment. Obviously that decisions like that are made by the commissioner and his staff, and be unfair for me to comment in terms of timing and how all that went, other than, my hat's off to all the support staff that were there at that game. The more you delve into this and you hear from, medical people around, the country, that, the first responders there were off the charts. And certainly, hats off to the union and the league for using our resources to have the proper people in place to handle a rare situation like that. So, but in terms of, the details, it'd be very unfair for me to get out in front of that and talk about it. And I'm sure as we move forward, when the league walks through everything, the protocol and the mechanics of the process, then certainly I'm sure they'll address that. But the biggest thing is that, it sounds like we did anything and everything we could to give Mr. Hamlin a chance to survive, a very, very serious situation. And, hats off to the medical people and the medical staffs that were there to do an amazing job to give him a chance to, and what looks like is going to be to continue his life.
Stephen, I've got to ask you, as we move toward the Dallas Cowboys, the final game of the regular season with the Washington Commanders, we battled back and forth about what, we think the Cowboys should do. And obviously you guys still have an opportunity at the number 1 seed and the NFC East. How do you approach this game? Is it just, hey, we're all in, we're going for it?
Absolutely. I mean, surely everybody understands in this league, anybody can win or lose a football game. And, the Eagles have their challenges, and I know we're preparing to go win the football game.
Well, and you think about trying to go out there and win is some scoreboard watching. The Giants aren't going to play a lot of starters. If the Eagles have a sizable lead, do you pull Dak and some of the other other starters out there just to get them a little bit of rest and to protect them?
Hey, we're in to win this football game, and we'll certainly, if things change and we have to play option quarterback, we will. But right now, our total focus is go out there and beat the Washington Commanders.
That's what I like to hear. Next week, we're talking about that first-round
That's
playoff game.
right.
I want to see that 13th win. Stephen, go get it for us on Sunday. Appreciate the time this afternoon.
Thank you, guys. Great being on with you, as usual.